There we go. So after the class, not only will you get a picture of your reading, but you will also get the recording. It'll be on YouTube, so you can watch it over and over again. And you will also be get the PDF of the reading. And I see that Kathleen is asking if we are concerned about earthbound spirits in this realm. You know, I always use whatever comes, but I am very clear with the spirit world on only good energy is allowed to come through. So, and to answer the question, I'm not at all concerned about that. You know, normally, and I know Stephanie and Della probably feel exactly the same way. You know, we have already, before this started, we saged, we palo santoed, we lit our candles, we got ourselves all cleared up. So we've never had any problem with anything like that. So, and I invite you to do the same. If you're a healer, put yourself in protection. If you're not a healer, you still can just ask for white light and angels to interfere. So how we do this is Miss D is going to start. She is going to connect to me. We are using a symbol that is in Reiki to create kind of like a tube between the two of us. And so I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a moment and take a breath. Think about asking for the information to be clear. And I'm going to begin shuffling. And when you feel like the energy is ready for you, then you just say stop. And I ask you to please say stop very loudly.
Stop.
Okie doke. All right, so we're just going to go down the line here. So the first thing is, what is your greatest strength? Oh, interesting. So that is the 3 of Cups. So what we'll do is we'll go through each card and then we will let you know what it means. And if Della or Stephanie has anything to add to it, they will certainly do so. So your greatest weakness. Can you see that okay? This is called, you can't make this up. So your false power, what you think your power is, or what you use when you feel powerless. And what is your true power? Oh my. Very nice. And then finally, where's your perfect balance point? So, by the way, I'm using Rider-Waite. If that scares anybody, don't worry. You don't have to have Rider-Waite all night because Stephanie will be using the Osho Zen deck and Della will be using the Lightbringer. So it'll all be kind of the luck of the draw here. So let's talk about this. This is interesting. I was surprised that this came up. Your greatest strength is the 3 of Cups. That's being able to come together with other people, other like-minded people. And I don't know a whole lot about your personal life, but I do know you have some really nice girlfriends that you have moved closer to. So I'm wondering if what Spirit is saying is that you need to rely more on that strength that is outside of you, coming together with like-minded people. And it doesn't have to be those girlfriends. It can just be other people that think the way that
It's you guys.
Just us guys.
It's you guys.
So yeah, so you know, recognizing that you get strength when you understand that there are other people that think the way you do. And that's for a lot of us. A lot of us just kind of constantly feel like we're outsiders in a world of logical people. You know, we all have this like right brain thing going on, talking to spirit, and other people think we're crazy. So that's your greatest strength. So you want to utilize that a little bit more. This card, and I will think anybody that's a seeker, that knows me knows this card came up for me over and over again, to the point that I started throwing it across the room. It made me so mad. But it's the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is all about excessive worry. So it's a person that can't sleep. They're, they're so worried. They're waking up in the middle of the night and they just don't know how to let it go. And I think this goes really well with the card that is about your balance point. It's about that half of what your nightmares are and all that, they've already come to pass. So there's no need to keep projecting them into the future, is what I'm feeling they're trying to tell you. So your false power, what you think is working for you, is the constant looking elsewhere, constantly looking out over the landscape, trying to find a new beginning, trying to create something else, never being happy right where you are, and feeling like that's the only way you're going to survive whatever this is that you're worried about. The only way is to find something else. But your true power is a very strong message. This is the King of Swords. And I apologize in advance if people don't like language, but the King of Swords takes no shit. And so it's saying that you can create your environment to be what you want, but you have to stop being so meek about it. And you have to, you have to be able to say, boo, I'm just going to cut out all the illusion, even if the illusion is within me, because that's why you're getting all this, is that, you're perceiving things as being much, much darker than possibly they are. And the reason why is this. This is a person that has been through hell and back. You can see them there now. They're suspicious. They're holding on to, what they have left, this one thing. We're going to hold on to it. We're so battered and we're so tired and we're so exhausted. And it's funny because somebody even said, we're exhausted. And I think that the perfect balance point is in recognizing that, yes, you have been through hell. Yes, you're exhausted, but what's the other side of that? It can't be constantly in this darkness. There has to be light. Anybody will tell you whatever goes down has to eventually come back up again. And so I think the perfect balance point is to acknowledge what you have been through, but don't allow that to be your reality. Don't allow that to be the rest of your life. Let yourself start to envision a brighter future. Does that make sense at all? And Steph,
it makes sense at all. 1,000 infinity cents.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a really, really powerful message for you.
Yeah.
Misty. I really do.
Thank you, Linda.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm so happy to see you again.
No.
Ladies, do you want
and I was going to joke, who won the bet, you or Barry, if I would show up?
Hey, you know what? You paid for it. I figured you'd be here.
Thank you.
All right. Did you want to say something, Stephanie or Della, or?
I just wanted to say that I felt like the first card, the greatest strength, it's celebration in the Osho Zen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it is definitely like your friends and relying on them. And in other words, I feel like maybe perhaps you need to even pull even more, not pull, but maybe just be with them more. Work with them more.
You're right.
Yeah.
I was going to tell Linda, there is a thing there. You guys are definitely, yes, you're right. And you're right. You are right.
So that's what I would want.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's like life is a pie chart, you got to fill it in. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the only thing I was going to say is, in your true power, don't be afraid to sit boldly on your throne.
Nice, Della. Yeah. And that's exactly what Leslie and I were talking about today, to like really say, look, you know, we don't have to play small. You know, we have power beyond compare. We just need to figure out what is our true power. So, all right. So I think the next person that signed in was Tammy. So who wants to go first, Della or Stephanie? No, go ahead, Steph.
Okay, I'm trying to set the timer and talk at the same time. It's not working. But anyway, great. Della, can you time? Because I'm not going to pay attention to the, okay, great. Thank you. All right. I'm going to unpin this because I can't see. There's Tammy. Yay. Okay, I found her.
Hey.
All right. So I'm going to, I've already shuffled like thousands of times, but I'm going to go ahead and just do one more quick this. And then I'm going to do this, and you let me know as we connect. You let me know when I'm done with this,
Okay.
when you feel like the energy is ready for you. Whoops.
Stop.
Okay, perfect. Right, so your greatest strength, greatest weakness. Number 3, your false power. Number 4, your true power. And number 5, your perfect balance point. Okay. And I'm using Osho Zen, Linda knows that.
I gotcha.
All right, your greatest strength. Actually,
I muted you, Stephanie. I muted
Okay.
everybody because there was some rustling in the head.
Oh, okay, okay.
So-
Show that card again, Stephanie, because I had the other one pinned, and so you were really tiny, and so you held it up. I didn't even see it.
It's here. It's here.
It's
on
It's in the, it's on the, it's pinned.
Oh, it
It's
is.
actually, it's the death card in the, and don't be afraid of that word, please, in the Rider-Waite. Actually, I kind of like both of these. Your greatest weakness. 7 of rainbows. The pregnant lady. Right. Your false power. Ace of Wands. Or the source in this case. Your true power. Ooh. And then your perfect balance point. I don't always look at the word, guys, so just.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. All right. Queen of Swords. We just got the King of Swords, and then we got the Queen of, interesting. Okay. All right, so your greatest strength is that you've gone through a huge change in your life, a huge transformation, and it's got you to where you need to be. This is actually, as I was saying, it's the death card in the Rider-Waite, but the death card, it's death and rebirth. And so that's what this card is all about. And so you've been, and it's a major arcana, so it's a big freaking deal of what you went through. And so that has been your strength, that you have submitted to this change. I won't say no one really sails through it. Sometimes we don't want it, but it has brought you to where you are right now. And so that's a big strength for you, because in learning to let go, you learn to let go of things. And so in becoming who you really are. And the greatest weakness is the Seven of Pentacles. The rainbows is pentacles. And so
I just have to say this, Tammy, patience, really?
Yeah, I had to laugh when that popped up. I'm like, yeah, everyone who knows me knows I'm not very patient.
And that's what this card is all. I mean, I look at the moons. That's what I love about this. And it's like the woman is sitting here. You know, when you're pregnant with a child, you can't force the child to come when you want it to. It comes when it's ready. And
Unless
so,
you're overdue, and then you get induced. That was me, by the way, on my second.
But yeah, so that's, you know, and that's one thing I think we learn through transformation, because when it tends to happen over a period of time. And so it starts kind of when we're not expecting it, and it ends when it's good and ready. And so perhaps you've tried to rush things, but found that was fruitless.
Me? Never.
Don't even bother, you know, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. And there's not a whole lot you can do about that. So, of course, our weaknesses are made so that we can turn them into our strengths. And so, you know, that's telling you, I think, that, yeah, being patient is actually, you know, a virtue. So, yeah.
Oh, I know it's a virtue. It's just not one I possess.
Not one, yeah, so you can work on it. So, I think this is interesting as your false power.
Of course. I don't know what.
Yeah, because I see this card as representing exactly what it says. It's the source, it's the universe, it's God, whatever we call, you know, God, or all that is, those things. And so, which is interesting because this is your true power. And this to me goes so well with the first card, because it's almost as if it's saying, and you know, this is what we're hearing now, that the power is within us. It's not outside of us, it's within us. And so that's what this transformation has brought for you. Perhaps you like being part of the crowd, maybe, or you've at one point you were people pleasing or something, where you felt like you did not want to stand out for who you really are. But this transformation, that's what it brings you to. It brings you to your true self. And so that lion lioness, whatever, trying to be a sheep, he's not a sheep. He's a lion. And so that's who you are. It's like, that's your strength. You're not like the crowd. You're standing out from the crowd, and you're learning that it's okay to do that. It's okay to be your true self. And that's what transformation brings us. It brings us to our true self. And so we find that source, we find it within us, and we don't have to go outside anymore to look for that strength or that power, because that's what we find inside of us when we go through that transformation. And so your perfect balance point, so this is the Queen. It's funny, we just had the King of Swords, and now we have the Queen of Swords. And I kind of want to see this in Rider-Waite. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Unless you have it there. Unless you have it there, Linda, but I have it. I just gotta. Oh, that's the King. Yeah, I got her. Okay.
And so what's the source in Rider-Waite, by the way?
It is an Ace of Wands.
Okay, and conditioning is what?
Conditioning is number 14.
It's the devil.
It is, yeah, it's the devil card. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So you got the death and the devil in one reading.
Okay.
But it's all about, the devil card is, again, it's all about breaking those chains of those messages, the world telling us who we are. Who are we really? That's what the transformation took you through. Who are you really?
Mm-hmm.
And so your perfect balance point is becoming a queen. And, you know, swords is the mind. And she's got her sword there. And I like how she's sitting here. She looks like she's giving a, it looks like she's on her throne and she's seeing, her subjects and she's giving them, guidance. And
Mhm.
so that's what it's brought you to, that you are a queen and now you're giving the guidance instead of receiving it, you're giving it now. And so, and that's your balance point. That's who you are. You're a queen. That's what the transformation brought you through. It feels like you went through a whole big thing
Yeah.
of change. Probably, I'm guessing over a period of years.
Yes.
Wondering if you were having a Pluto transit like me. But anyway, I don't know your chart, but anyway. But yeah, because that's what Pluto does. He brings us. So yeah, so the greatest strength is your transformation, and it may be continuing even, but that's what you bank in your power on, because it brought you to who you are today.
I
So
see.
yeah, so that's, if Linda and or Della have input, please do so.
I just am amazed that you got the source and the devil, and that you would think they'd be the other, way around. You would think that this would be the, the false and this would be the true. But I feel like what Stephanie is saying is that, a lot of times we don't trust. So, we're not looking at the source because we don't trust that it's going to be, especially with that patience card popping up. The source is saying, well, you're going to trust it or not, and the conditioning is, well, how are you being conditioned to believe that you can't have what you want? So I feel like that's why it's such an interesting balance. I don't know. What do you think, Della?
No, I agree. It was funny, but I like the fact that, both these Misty and Tammy are sitting on thrones.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's important right now.
It's about time.
Yeah, I think it is. Absolutely. All right. So
Thank you.
I believe that Johnette was next. Are you still here, Johnette? Yes. All right. So Della, you want to take on
Wait.
Johnette?
You're muted, Johnette. Oh. She can't unmute.
That's all right.
Okay,
don't
yeah,
worry.
so it's okay. I'm gonna shuffle.
And just wave.
Yeah, it's okay. Just connect and I'll pay attention. Just wave. Just wave when you want me to stop. Okay, you want this? You want this on top or just this on top?
One or two.
This too.
Yeah,
All right. Okay. So greatest strength, 8 of Pentacles. Greatest weakness, 5 of Cups. False power.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
You said 5 of Cups.
5 of Cups.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. False power, 6 of Swords. All right. True power, 10 of Pentacles. And your perfect balance is the Four of Cups.
Hmm.
All right. So 8 of Pentacles, going back to your greatest strength. So looking at this, you know, she's sitting here, she has a lot of things. So I think your greatest strength, when I'm looking at this, is recognizing that you have a lot of choices. Your greatest strength is recognizing that all the things and all the chances and all the opportunities and all the things that you have in front of you, that you recognize that is who you are and a part of you, that you have, it's not just one thing that you have in your bag of tricks that is your strength. You have a multitude of things available to you to pull out, to use, that acknowledges who you are and shows that who your strength and what things make you strong and make you who you are. So your greatest weakness, the Five of Cups. So when I'm looking at this, it's like, okay, so, she's sitting here and, she has these cups. There's one that's full and there's one that she appears to be dumping out. And it looks like the other ones, and I need to take my glasses off. The other ones appear to be empty. So sometimes, so when I'm looking at this, I think sometimes it's almost like your weakness is, how do I say, it's not necessarily recognizing the fact that you do have all these opportunities and things that are your strength. And sometimes you're maybe looking at your weaknesses. I'm looking at this one full cup that I have here, this one thing that is, is this more of my something that I have that I need to use for everything, as opposed to recognizing that, hey, I have all of these things at my disposal. And but your weakness is maybe focusing only on the one thing and recognizing that, hey, I have a lot. Your false power, Six of Swords. Six of Swords. So when I look at this, wow. And I'm seeing that there's like this storm that's brewing. There's this storm that's going on. And interesting enough, there, so Linda has it up. The birds, which stand for the swords, 3 of them are flying away, but 3 of them are actually leading the ship and taking her on this journey. And so, it looks like a bit of a turmoil or thing that's going on. It's like, but hey, I have my bag. My bag is packed, but I'm not necessarily, she doesn't look too happy. She looks a little bit down. She looks a little bit sad. So it's like the false power is, am I being led in the right way? Or is what I want over here, and not recognizing that I have my bag. I have what I need to take me on my journey where I need to go, and not relying on what may be over here and in the wind going in another direction, and focusing on right here, right now, and where I'm being carried to, and recognizing that, is there power in where I'm going and what's in front of me, or is the power over here somewhere else and where I need to place my focus? So maybe pay attention to what's going on inside of me a little bit more. So I love this card, this true power card of yours. And the true power is, it's okay to have everything around me and to have the celebration and the people. It's like there's a whole bunch. It's like a man, a woman, there's children, there's a dog. So your power is in those that are around you, that bring you your strength, that bring you your joy, that bring you your happiness. The power is within all that's around you and all that you open yourself up to. Not just, you know, who you are, but all the people that support you and carry you. And then your perfect balance point, the 4 of Cups. Your perfect balance is in recognizing that sometimes you need to take a little time for Jonette and balance between, you know, all that I'm doing for everybody else. Okay, sometimes I got to balance between what does Jonette need to do? What does Jonette need for Jonette? It's fine to help others. It's fine to be there for others, but sometimes I got to find that balance and take a little solitude and take a little time for me to have that place, have that, you know, that foundation to come back to myself so that I can be and recognize, not this one, that I can recognize that my strengths and all my strengths are out there and available to me. Linda, Stephanie?
Ivan, you did a great job. You have anything, Stephanie?
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say, the same thing. I just wanted to emphasize the number 4, your true power is all of the people you have around you, and perhaps utilizing more of that so that you can get to number 5, your perfect balance, and doing more for you as opposed to, you know, maybe perhaps putting the emphasis on doing more for others. So, so yeah, that's pretty much all I had.
Yeah. And that's the only thing that hits me in that 10 of Pentacles is the joy. You know, the true power is in the joy. So if it doesn't feel joyous, then there's no reason to be doing this. Yeah, you know, so if you feel that joy, and it's easier to feel joy when you're not depleted. And so that's why the balance point is, okay, make sure that you also take care of you. I think you were brilliant, Della. Brilliant. So I think the next person was Tracy. So Tracy, you get me. Oh, and she just went dark. She's like,
Oh, I was taking off of mute, so I'm here.
All right, give me a sec to just go ahead and shuffle these. Yeah, and then just connect to me.
Okay.
And kind of just allow yourself to feel when the cards are right. And then just say stop very loudly.
Stop.
Okay. I have this little bit in my hand. Do you want that in front or behind?
In front.
Okay. All right. That's what I would have picked too.
Okay,
So
great.
all right. So your greatest strengths. Interesting. So that's a judgment card in the major arcana. Your greatest weakness. Okay, don't shoot the messenger.
Yep, that's pretty on point.
Yeah, I know, sorry.
That's okay.
Your false power. Oh, that's interesting too. And then your true power. Oh, that's lovely. And then your balance point. These pages for you. Cool. So let's just go back to the greatest strengths. So a lot of people see the judgment card. And so they, you know, they kind of get all caught up in the, all right, well, I know when I go to heaven, St. Peter's going to be there and tell me what I did wrong, you know, and that's not at all what the judgment card is about. In fact, in the Rider-Waite deck, I'm sorry, in the in the Osho deck, it's beyond illusion. And so I feel like your greatest strength right now is that you are no longer willing to be even caught up in all the nonsense of what we were told growing up, and, you know, having to worry about, are we going to go to heaven and all that kind of stuff. It's about being truly in your third eye and truly in your power. You know, and a lot of times that comes from going through hell and back, and, you know, and I know you have. So you're now able to really kind of be in the reality of what life is, not false illusions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so the Two of Cups, and I'm sorry I laughed, how unprofessional, but you know, your greatest weakness obviously is in always looking for someone else to kind of validate you, to make you, you know, like not understanding how your strength is within you. So, you know, tending to kind of look for someone else to define you. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you understand you cannot have true communion unless both people are fully present. And so, you know, maybe that's the weakness that is actually going to bring you strength moving forward. Your false power, this is the guy that is like, he's holding on to everything. He's holding on to every penny he makes. You know, he thinks that the power is to be able to have the money. And I love that the card that is what your true power is, and also what your balance point is a page. So the page is all about a childlike attitude towards life. It's a message, being able to listen in for the messages that come your way. Because of everything you've been through, instead of being jaded, you've actually allowed it to make you more of an innocent than you ever were, which is quite a contrast. The wand is new growth. So this childlike attitude towards new growth kind of ensures that you will always be successful. So you don't have to worry about holding on to money. Money just is going to come to you as long as you maintain this spirit that you have. And, you know, and I do know you fairly well as far as that's concerned. You do have just such a lovely innocence about you. And even with anything that you've been through, to be able to maintain that is such a neat quality of yours. And I think it's reinforced with, here's your balance point. So as long as you keep that sunshine, as long as you keep that innocence, that childlike delight at life, no matter what, then you're going to have the money. Look at this guy, has the biggest money of all, you know, like this dude is trying to hold on to all these little coins. This guy's like, yeah, okay, this is so big I can hardly carry it, you know. And so I think that it's giving you a message of, look, your true power is to keep that light that you have inside of you, no matter what. And, you know, as far as this guy is concerned, you know, I don't feel like this is saying your weakness forever is going to be relationships. I think it's saying the weakness is thinking it has to be a certain way in order for you to be okay. And that's why these guys are saying, no, you're the light. So you need to bring the light to the table. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. So I should go book those vacations I was dreaming about at 3 a.m. last night. Just do it.
100%, 100%.
Okay, done.
Yeah. And stay with youthful people, like, you know, be around, like, you know, I know you have kids, like, do things that make you feel like a young person, you know, because that's where your strength is. So Della, did you want to add to that?
Yeah. I was just going to say, you know, these pages, I think, are trying to say to you, hey, you know, you just said, should I book that trip? What would a child do? A child was like, that's what I want to do, and I'm going to go do it. So yes, go do it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry about the money. Do you want to add something, Stephanie, or?
No, I was, I was just thinking with that, the Two of Cups, being your greatest weakness is that, booking the trip, doing what you want to do, having that child. In other words, the only time we can have the best relationship comes when we have the relationship of a lifetime with ourselves.
Mhm.
And it's like, you can't bring, if you bring less than that to a relationship, then what is it?
Mhm.
So that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Thank you.
Nice. My pleasure. I'm glad you came. I missed you. I
Yeah.
haven't seen you for a while.
I know. Sometimes Wednesdays are hard for me, but I'm glad I got the email.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
know. I remembered to send it out.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
All right. So I think the next person was Kathleen. Kathleen, are you still there?
I'm here. Thanks
There
for the
you are.
email.
Oh, yay. Sometimes that works, right?
Yeah.
So
I was just thinking I just thinking about it and all of a sudden it comes in the email. I mean, like within moments.
you can't make this up.
Yeah,
There's no coincidences.
right.
So Stephanie's going to go ahead and read for you.
Right, great.
All right. I'm like, who's up next? Don't ask me, because Oh, okay. Kathleen, I'm going to, let me just, I like to do this thing first. All right. And now I'm going to shuffle, and as I connect with you, just let me know when to stop doing the shuffle.
Now.
Okay, perfect. All right. Get that out of the way. So your greatest strength, part number 1. Your greatest weakness, number 2. 3, your false power. Right here. 4, your true power. And then number 5, your perfect balance point. All right, so your greatest strength. Didn't we just get this one? Didn't this just come up?
No, it hasn't.
It wasn't? Okay. What was that?
Oh, Kathleen.
I'm thinking about that, the one we just had. To me, they're similar. Okay, number 2, your greatest weakness. Boy, I used to get this all the time.
I can remember.
Yeah, and I'm like, am I past that one yet? All right, your false power. 9 of Wands.
Oh dear.
And then your true power. I love this card.
Yeah.
And it's in a nice position. Your perfect balance point. Huh, this is interesting.
It is interesting.
Which I actually think goes with number 4, actually. Now that it's kind of making sense. All right, so your first one, your greatest strength. I always like to see what these are in. So this is the Chariot, the awareness. But I like how this I like how Osho does it, because it's like you're cutting through the BS and it's like you were behind. It's almost like this person was behind the veil, but guess what? It's opened up. And it's really interesting, because that's kind of in line with the astrology now, of how many of us are we're seeing the stuff that's no longer true or no longer applicable to our lives. and it's kind of just like this, coming through the veil. And that's right now is your greatest strength, is like that coming through, and seeing things for what they really are. And so to go along with your greatest weakness, the interesting thing is I kind of see both of these as having veils. It's really very interesting. It's like this one is coming through, and this one is like, but it's almost like this one, your greatest weakness is perhaps not knowing that this is here. It's perhaps not knowing that you are breaking through, that perhaps sometimes, we build these jails. I won't even say sometimes. We limit ourselves into what and who we really are. And it could be that within yourself, that there's right now a shift going on. I'm not sure. I don't even know if this makes sense, but when I see these two cards, to me, they're very similar. And I'm wondering if there's a shift within you right now that's bringing you from your weakness to your strength. You might be fighting against it. I don't know if that makes sense. But let's keep looking. Let's look at the false power, and then we'll see how that shakes out. So your false power is a 9 of Wands, and this is called the exhaustion card. It's funny. See that word's coming through. What's with the word exhaustion tonight, guys? That word keeps coming up. But and the true power, though, this is really interesting. Okay, so the first two and this card, all to me are all they're all like linked. But so your false power is having what I'm hearing is, and it might be why this is not as clear as it should be. Your false power is just having all these things that keep you busy to the point of being overwhelmed. But you know what? They might not be necessary. I think about that. What I'm hearing. I'm thinking about that. I love this scripture because it took me a minute to understand it. I mean, I'm not a Christian, but I love some of the scriptures in the Bible. And there's the one with Mary and Martha, and Martha's the one that's like this, and Mary is sitting at his feet. It might be the other way around, but anyway, and Jesus says to Martha, only one thing is needed. Only one thing is needed. That Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about 1,000 things, but only one thing is needed. And I'm wondering if this is the 1,000 things. It's a false power. Your power is not in all the things that are going on that you need to do. Your power, that's not where your power is in one thing. Your true power is in trusting and taking that leap. And that leap takes you to this. It takes you to seeing what's true, seeing your true strength. Not all those other things. It's just only one thing is needed. And so your balance point, now this is interesting, the balance point, I usually use this card when I see this card, to me, it means exactly what it says. We're comparing ourselves, but I'm not getting that for you here. Perhaps it's not so much comparing yourself to someone else and understanding that perhaps you're the oak, or in other words, they're both trees, but they have different functions. They look different. They do different things. Their leaves look different, all of that, but they're both trees. And so it could be that your balance point is not so much that you're comparing yourself. I feel like your perfect balance point is knowing that you're the oak, knowing that or the bamboo or whatever. Know that. Go ahead.
It's a habit. The exhaustion is a habit that's hard to let go of, I think.
Okay.
That it's something that I've done my whole life, and it's not necessary now but it's a power because I've been that person for so long and I don't need to be that person anymore,
Right.
but I'm holding on to it because I feel powerful the more I do.
That makes sense.
I think that's what I'm getting out of it.
Uh-huh.
'Cause
Yes,
it makes
that-
sense for me.
Yeah, but only one thing. You only need one thing. You don't need all that stuff anymore.
Yeah,
It's an old-
that's a hard break.
Yeah, it is. It is a hard, you're right, absolutely. But that's the challenge right now. I mean, I feel like for me, I'm being challenged with hard things, old patterns that no longer serve. Because when you
Yeah.
break them, then you see the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
interesting.
so that's what I'm getting from this reading.
Wow. Thank you, Stephanie.
Mhm.
Fellow Capricorn.
Yes. Yes. And Pluto, get
You know,
away
it's
from
in-
my son.
It's in our blood. It's in our blood, right?
That Pluto thing.
Exactly.
So I put this one up because that is the 5 of Swords, the comparison card. And it goes right in line with what you're saying. This is a person that has constantly had to fight. They've had to fight to get everything that they have. And I mean, it's just a tumultuous ongoing thing. And so I do think the balance point is understanding, you don't have to do that anymore. That you can allow yourself to be the innocent child. This is the Chariot. And so the Chariot is that, oh my God, it's just careening wildly out of control. And are you going to like be dragged? Or are you going to take the lead? What are you going to do? But Osho says, look, once you get rid of, if you can see that outline, that person that's constantly in angst, and once you can start to take that shell off, then the innocent little Buddha child can come out. And so I think it's right what Stephanie is saying, it's time to kind of let some of that go. I thought it was kind of cute though. You got the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. And in Della's deck, the Page of Cups, this guy that's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna let myself be ridiculous. I'm gonna, when pigs fly, you see the pigs flying, I'm just gonna wait for it. I'm gonna allow it to happen. Because this is what's on the other side of that. I mean, look at this guy. He's got the roses and, he's the knight in shining armor. So I think it's like she's saying, if you can allow yourself to sort of put some of that down and find the softness in life, then you can allow what is new to come out of you that maybe you've never even seen before. What do you think, Della?
Yeah, I agree, but Carrie just put in the chat, the oak is strong and the bamboo is flexible. So maybe the balance point is between being strong and flexible.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tough armor to get out of, it's tough when you're used to that. Thank you. Very, very obviously these cards have a whole lot more in them than I can see, but thank you for that.
I'm glad you came. I'm really happy to see
Yeah,
you.
me too. That tells a lot, especially relating to the dreams I've been having and all.
Is everybody having a lot of dreams lately? We've been talking about this a little bit.
Yep.
Everybody. Yeah. It's an opening time. So let me see who came next. So we have, I think it's Leslie. So Della, you want to do Leslie?
Sure. Let me shuffle a little bit first. Although I did shuffle them already.
Are you guys all like relating to this though, to other people's readings? I think there's a common thread going on right now. So it'll be interesting to see if that continues.
All right. You ready, Leslie? All right, let's connect. And you just tell me when to stop. Top. Okay, do you want this on the top or on the back?
Top. Top.
Top. All right. Your greatest strength. 6 of Pentacles. Your greatest weakness. The 9 of Wands.
Yeah.
Your false power. The 4 of Swords.
Hmm.
Your true power. The 8, oh, yep, the 8 of Wands. And your perfect balance. Oh.
That hot guy.
That's not a bad thing. Let me tell you. That's not a bad thing. So don't think that it is.
The devil's coming up tonight for some
He
reason.
sure is. It sure is. It sure is. Okay. Your greatest strength. The 6 of Pentacles. All right, Linda has it up. Okay, so I think your greatest strength, when looking at this, it's like if you see that, in the background there's an infinity. So, the infinity sign has no beginning and no end. So understanding, to me, your greatest strength is in understanding that you have everything that you need. It's already there. There's no beginning, there's no end. It's with you, it's within you. Pentacles is all about the money or things and whatnot. So you have everything that you need. Your greatest strength is understanding that you have everything that you need. It's all there. It's all within you. There's no beginning. There's no end. And you have the ability to have it at your whim, at your fingertips. Look at that. It's at your fingertips. In your hand, it's at your fingertips. Then your greatest weakness, the 9 of Wands. Okay. So looking at, I keep wanting to hold it up, but I keep forgetting that Linda has it. So, she's like, and I need to take my glasses. I don't know why I put those glasses on because I can't see. Oh, I can't see close up with those. So at first I thought her eyes were closed, but they're not. Her eyes are open. She's kind of looking off. So when I'm looking at this, it's like your greatest weakness is maybe not staying present and in the moment. It's like looking off at what is going on or what may be happening, not being where you are, not recognizing that, hey, I have everything that I need already with me. It's like I'm holding on to this one thing and I'm just kind of not focused and kind of looking off in the distance. So to me, your greatest weakness is not necessarily focusing on what you have within you, not focusing on what your strengths really are, and just kind of what's happening out there, what's going on out there, instead of recognizing that what I have within me. Your false power, the 4 of Swords. So here, she's in this little cocoon, alone. So the false power to me is that, this heart is like outside of her. So the false power to me is showing that. And it's funny because now I'm remembering, it's like this sword's coming up in the false power place. But, the false power for you is that I have to be alone. That maybe you feel like my power comes in staying to myself and being by myself, and that gives me the strength and that how do I say this? That I'm being here and seeing as, you know, as what's the word? Not alone, but powerless, and not recognizing that I do have the power, that, you know, that's not true, that you do have the power. So the false power is that you don't recognize that you do have the power, and looking at the true power, the Nine of Wands, that light, and pinpointing and recognizing that, hey, I have within me all that I need. I have, if I focus on this strength that I have, it's pinpointed. If you look at all these wands, they are all pointing into one point, to one light, all coming together. So if you recognize that your power is that light that shines within, if you allow it, if you allow that power, if you allow that light to shine, that is your power. That is your true power. To not curl up in a ball and go away from everybody, but to recognize, to let your light shine. Allow it out there. And the balance is, don't be a puppet for anybody. Don't allow yourself to be this puppet. Don't be the puppet.
Yeah, that's a mic drop right there. She said.
Wow. That was pretty wow.
I want to show you just the one card in the Osho deck. That's that Four of Swords. And I feel like it is that idea that I'm just going to lay here curled up in a little ball, powerless, because I want to postpone the light, you know, and sometimes you have to sort of think about, well, why are you postponing it? What are you afraid of? You know, what is comforting in sadness that you're afraid you won't have if you aren't sad, you know, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, these are things that I'm pretty aware of.
Yeah.
And I'm really aware that there's this hiding. It's like hiding in that nest. It's a real hiding, and it's not. It feels like it's, you know, there's a true something, and it's not the nest. You know, it's not the hiding in the nest.
No.
Right.
There's the true light thing. And postponement was a good word to use. Postponing the light.
Right.
And retreating, just retreating.
Yeah. And
but at the same time, I know I have to not necessarily be on all the time, or I will get into exhaustion. So yeah, there's a way forward, and I'm on it.
Good. Yeah, just look for the devil. No, just kidding.
Yeah. I think I've been exercising that, Linda. What do you think?
Pardon me?
To some extent, I think I've been exercising. I'm not going to be the puppet.
Right. Absolutely.
But I can get a little, I can get a little bit over into that person on the bridge, you know, just getting a little crazy about it.
Yeah. No, I think that this is well, we talked about this, so it's not really fair for me to interject too much, but yeah, it is that evolving, like the not being a puppet and allowing yourself to stand up for what you need, but also to come together. Like this card to me is about coming together with other people, and I feel like that's been a sort of a common message tonight too. So, all right, unless Stephanie has something to add, we're going to move on to Barb.
I'm good.
Okay, so Barb, connect to me. And
okay.
Let me just break these up a little bit. And okay, just say stop loud.
Stop.
Okay, that's so weird. That's exactly where I wanted to stop. So you must have been in tune. All right, so your greatest strength is strength. I love it. Your greatest weakness, love this too. This is the 7 of Cups. Your false power, I can't make this up, I swear. This is Temperance, but your true power is the 6 of Swords. And then your balance point, oh my. Wow. So Barb, you win the prize for the most major arcana in a reading. I mean, you got 3 out of 5, which whenever we see that kind of arcana showing up, we know something big is going on. There's something really life-changing that is happening. I know, right? So let's break it down. So your greatest strength, I mean, this is so perfect. Like I said, you can't make this up, is your strength. It is your ability to keep on keeping on no matter what. You have that, you can see the affinity over her crown of flowers. And it's like, she knows she walks in, yeah, Misty, it's the infinity sign again. It's that, this is who you are. You can calm the wild beast. And that's what it's trying to tell you. So your strength, yes, yeah. I don't know if you can see Della's holding it up.
Oh, wow.
In the other, yeah, it's just a really beautiful card. It's she's got her heart around her neck. She's got the lion and the lamb. I mean, this is a really powerful being, and I think you already know that there's something really incredible about you. So I think it's just reinforcing that for you. But your weakness, and I love this, it's like the kid in the candy store. You want all of it. You can't make a decision. Do I want this or do I want that? What if I pick this cup, with this like little spirit guy, or maybe the ghost will be there, and so it's like getting in that sort of stymied, I don't know, is this the right thing? Is this not the right thing? So that's your weakness. And it's not a bad week. I mean, who doesn't want to be a kid in the candy store? You can have all you want. Your false power, and I find this really interesting. So temperance is not a bad thing. Temperance is being able to weigh the odds. It's, you're pouring one thing, you make sure that you do things in moderation. And I think for you, what I know of you, you are triple fire. So, Barb's, her moon, rising, and sun is all in fire signs. And so I can imagine that temperance is something that you had to work on. When you were a child, you can't just be blowing all that fire out all over the place. But I feel like that's not what your power is. I feel like you've spent your whole life controlling it. And there comes a point where you have to let it burn, in order for you to be happy. So I think that's why it's in your false power, because yeah, we can all tolerate stuff. And you do better than most at tolerating, but that doesn't mean that it serves you. And this is why this is interesting. Your true power. This is, I mean, look at this person, they got all the swords in front of them and they've just decided to move on. They're not going to sit and wait around for everything to work out the way it is, and they're willing to kind of like take other people with them. Yeah. They're willing to drive the boat, to make sure that they get where they want to be. And the balance point, this is great. This is somebody who's completed the cycle of life. You know, like the cards go from 0, which is the Fool, all the way through the journey. The final card is the World. And that's when you become worldly. You know, that's when all of your experience have led you to be the wise crone that knows what the truth is in life. It's not about our conditioning, which the devil has come up quite a bit. It didn't come up for you because you don't have that conditioning that you need to overcome. You have embraced the world and who you truly are. You have fought through some of the demons that have surrounded you. But I feel like, you know, the weakness of, well, do I really want this or do I really want that, is something that holds you back, because you know exactly what you want. You might try to tell yourself, well, no, let me go ahead and be, you know, patient and keep everything balanced. We don't want to upset anybody, but that's not who you are. This is who you are. You are a woman that has more power than most people that I know. So I think maybe that's why you're getting so much major arcana. Like maybe you're in a position right now where you're having to make some decisions that perhaps you never thought that you would. And, you know, I'm hoping that the decisions have to do with happiness and what is going to make you very happy. So that's what I'm feeling. Anybody else? Stephanie, Della, you feeling anything else? Oh,
I just thought that the world card is completion in the Osho Zen,
right.
which I thought that was pretty interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, completion.
Yep. I hope I'm not like at the end of my life here, but being this old, you know, I mean, it does have its advantages of worldliness and, you know, experiences. So it feels that way. You know, like you said, the wise crone is a good thing to be when you're in your 70s, you know, it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
I wouldn't take it at all that this means that you're at the end. It feels more like a new beginning. It feels
Yeah, that
like,
could be.
you know, like if you think about the Fool, I mean, every single deck that you see the Fool, it's always somebody jumping off a mountain. And you know, they're always pretty daggone happy about it because that means now they get a whole new cycle. And I feel like that's where you're at is, okay, you've reached the end of the cycle. Now you get to do a whole brand new one, and you get to do it knowing what you know, like the first 8 times we jump off the mountain, we don't know what we're doing. Now you know what you're doing. And I think that's pretty powerful.
Cool. Thank you.
So, yeah. All right. So I think we have Carrie. So Stephanie, you get Carrie. Is she still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
Unmute. Okay. Put my sound up a little bit there. Okay. Great. Carrie, I like to do one more that kind of shuffle, then all right. You can connect to me and let me know when this is
to let
finished.
go. I had to tell you guys at the beginning, I intuited Della was going to do my reading. I don't know why, it just came to me. So I'm having to just let go of Della. I didn't have a preference. It's just sometimes I have precognition a lot. So I'm like, no, I'm doing Stephanie, let go.
Well, maybe she'll have some input. You never know. See, I'd have really.
I didn't want to say anything, but I'm like reorienting. Stephanie.
It might be mic drop again.
Yeah. Are you waiting for me to say when?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay. When?
Okay, so I had a small piece, bottom or top?
Top.
All right. So, your greatest strength, greatest weakness, number 2. That out of the way. Your false power, number 3. Number 4, your true power. And number 5, the perfect balance point. Dun, 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 dun. Greatest strength. Look who we got again.
Oh, wow. I did relate to that card when it came up. Isn't that funny?
Interesting. Well, it's here for you. All right.
And that's the
And-
Chariot. Is that right, Linda?
Yes, the Chariot.
Yeah, the Chariot. Greatest weakness.
Sorry, inappropriate to laugh.
Two of cups.
So pretty.
I'm sorry, 2 of swords. What am I thinking?
Oh my God. That's my greatest weakness. I mean, is that where we are?
Yeah.
What in the
Okay.
hell is that?
Your false power.
No, I mean,
That's the two of, that was the 2 of swords. 2 of swords.
sword. That's what I was going for. Okay, thank you.
Then the 5 of pentacles is your false power. But your true power is so, okay. These, you know, sometimes we get these cards and to me, the number 2 and number 4 are like, okay, we're swinging. We're swinging in both of them. And then your perfect balance point.
What is that one in the Rider-Waite? Sorry, Stephanie.
Which one are you talking? The one I just showed you?
Totality.
5 of wands.
5 of wands. Okay.
Yeah. And then your balance point is the 3 of wands. Okay. So your greatest strength again is, I feel like this is really similar to what Kathleen had. I think she had this, somebody had this, but it's coming into that awareness of who, again, it's coming into that awareness of who you really are. It's like you centered something it feels like you centered something within yourself, a knowledge or a strength. It feels like something has solidified, something that perhaps has been bouncing around for a period of months or years about who you are in this world, and it feels like it has revealed itself. And so your greatest weakness, the 2 of swords, I just want to the 2 of swords, which is really interesting because I feel like the 5 of wands, they're like very similar. But your greatest weakness could be, and I love that there are clouds. This person is like between a rock and a hard place, but if they let go, they'll fall into the clouds. They'll fall into love in a sense. And it's almost like, even though you're coming into this place of knowing this, it just feels like something is rock solid and has been birthed or is birthing inside of you. There's this part of you that wants to hold on to those old parts that these old parts that no longer serve. If you just let go, you'll fall into that strength within you will be even more defined. In other words, it feels like this is holding you back in a way from fully defining that strength that's emerging within you. It's almost like they're in competition, perhaps. And all you have to do is let go.
You had
And
the,
so,
oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were done. I was gonna ask if you had the Rider-Waite for that.
Linda can pull it. Yeah, I have it, but let's let Linda pull it. And so your false power, you know what I love? I always call these, to me, when I get these cards, to me, these are there's the inner child, perhaps a wound or something from the past
Oh, wait.
that there's a false message. It's like a false power is a false message. Something that perhaps you heard when you were young, that is not, it's not true. A message you were given that perhaps you're still swimming in. That's because this little one is behind this gate that is not locked. And there it is, and yeah, and so, but look what's on the other side. It's almost to me, these are very similar. Falling into the clouds, falling into love, and going through the gate into love. It's right on the other side. All you have to do is lift that chain and just walk through, which I'm preaching to myself here. But it's really
lost, Stephanie, the Two of Swords, was that your greatest weakness, or was that?
Yeah, that was your greatest weakness. Yes. Not
And
letting
so
go.
The false this is the false power. Okay.
Yes, yes. And so it feels like an old inner child message.
The greatest weakness.
This is the false, this is your false power number 3. It just feels like an old inner child message.
Yeah.
Where it's in other words, it's easy to let it run your life, even though it's no longer valid. And so your true power, which is really, I like this because the greatest weakness was not letting go, but the true power is in letting go.
Oh, wow.
And perhaps even being with another or others.
But they're letting go. There's like 2 people who are holding on.
Yeah, but they're letting go.
Well,
They're letting go into that joy, into that, because this is, wands is action. And so your true power is, but I think for you, what it feels like for you, it's just letting go. That's your power, your true power. And you have the power to do that. You have the power to overcome this message or these messages or what this little child who is saying, I can't, or I won't, or whatever. I don't know what the message is, but it's in letting go and walking through that gate. It's like the freedom, you see the people, you've seen those folks that do in the Olympics or whatever, who do those high flying, and just how free they seem when they're doing that. And just thinking about that, the freedom that comes in having that ability to just let go. I mean, even what they do, it's all trust, knowing that that other person is going to be there, knowing that source is going to be there, that your guidance is going to be there. That's your true power. And I like that because the perfect balance point, it's like, it's another wands, the 3 of wands. I wonder what that looks like in Rider-Waite. Can you pull that one, Linda? I'm curious. Okay. Yeah. It's perhaps, he's got his back to us and he's looking out, and this person I'll tell you just what it feels like. What it feels like is the perfect balance point is once you let go, or as you let go, it feels like, whoops, and that's my time. As you let go, this part of you that's coming through is, it's like it's realized, it becomes real, it becomes a strength, it becomes part of your everyday life. It becomes who you are, who you really are. And it's like, because what I like about this card is, even though these colors, these orange, they're very action oriented, there's a peace about it. And to me, again, it's falling into love. It's walking through the gate into love. It's experiencing life in love. It's all action, but it's letting go and falling into that and knowing that that's there. That's the perfect balance point. At least that's what I'm feeling, but Linda is already unmuted.
I'm always unmuted.
She's already.
Well, I just, I pulled these in the Rider-Waite because I do feel like it's helpful, so like that schizophrenia card, this is a person that needs to make a decision, and they're making a decision with the blindfold on because they don't want to really see all the options. So, that whole being stuck between a rock and a hard place, and being afraid to fall it's the same thing. Just like Stephanie said, it's if you can't make a decision, it's normally because you're not actually wanting to, or you're not looking at the options that you could have. And I feel like that's what this card, the outsider, and I think it's interesting that you asked to see it in the Rider-Waite, because I think the Rider-Waite one is so much harsher than the Zen one. But the message of the card is, look, are you just going to be a beggar? Are you just going to live your whole life being a beggar? And we're crippled and we can't afford this and we can't do that. So I think that's what it's saying. And this reminds me of what Leslie and I were talking about today, with that feeling that we're supposed to be so humble, and so, we're never supposed to have anything good. The person who suffers gets the biggest prize in heaven, that kind of thing. And so I think that's why that's the false power, is that, you don't need to be this person. The being able, this is that totality card, the being able to come together with other people and build something, this totality is, look, let's focus on what it is you really want to do. Because, dude, if you don't pay attention to what it is and you're a trapeze artist, you're just going to fall to your death. That's it. But the Rider-Waite says, no, everybody needs to grab their wand, and bring it together, and let's all bring our wands, and what can we do? We could wave our magic wands and build something wonderful. So I think it's just a real message to you. And I feel like that experiencing one is saying, so what is it? The balance point is deciding, well, what is it that you want to experience in your life? When was the last time you went out and you hugged a tree? I think that the text to the Osho Three of Wands says, do you understand that when you hug a tree, the tree hugs you back? So if you're not experiencing that part of life, that it's time to get out there and do it. So, I mean, it's a little harsher, I think, in the Rider-Waite, but I think the message is the same, that it's time to get out for love. Like Stephanie was saying, in a nicer way, because she's a Capricorn, not an Aries. I mean, what do you think, Della? Della's an Aries too, just warning you.
I was getting ready to say I'm an Aries too, and it's funny because Linda, you said exactly what I was going to say. This is the Two of Swords and the Light Seers. And I was going to say, you're trying to blindly make decisions. But Linda, it's like Linda said it. And the other thing that came out was that you got to work together. This is the Five of Wands, your true power. It's like Linda said, it's like everybody's bringing their wand to build something, to work to get to the top. And that's what you need to do. You need to stop thinking, oh, your false power, I'm by myself and I'm stuck in here by myself. The key is there. You can get out. The key, and it was in the one that Stephanie had too. The key is there. You can get out. You don't have to be by yourself. Get everybody.
Oh, Linda, I couldn't see it with Della. It was holding it up. It was really small.
That's it. Yeah, the key is there. You have the way out. You don't, your false power is thinking, I'm all by myself. I got to do it by myself. I can get out and I can get to that key, because when everybody brings their wands, we can build this thing together. But Linda, it's like Linda said everything I was saying, so I was thinking. So.
Wait, I want to sing the song. Kumbaya.
Well, I can't sing, so.
um, so Leslie, I think everybody saw, she said
Oh.
she was reminded of the freedom and joy and love that she felt at the transplant games, coming together with like-minded souls, going for it with others too, joy and empowerment and supporting each other. And I do think that's a message that we all need to take. You know, the COVID years have really brought us to where our nucleus is so small. And even if it is online, you know, like Misty's card of let's come together with like-minded people, no matter what it is, you do have to connect, because, you know, being this like sad person just sitting and going, oh, my life is such suffering, you know, it's just, that kind of energy is never going to take anybody anywhere.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's worthwhile. So normally we have, of course, as always, run long. So normally Stephanie, Della and I would read one another at this point. But I think what we're going to do, if it's all right with Stephanie and Della, is we will read each other and then send it to we'll put it out on Seekers. How's that? So we'll do a synopsis. Is that okay, ladies? Or would you rather take the time to, that's okay with you, Della? Yeah, so that's what we'll do. If anybody is interested, we'll put our reading on Seekers. If you are not in the Seekers group on Facebook, I think Tracy and Kathleen are the only ones that aren't in that. I'll email it to you with the, when I email your card and all that. Is that cool?
Thank you.
Yeah, I can put you actually in Seekers, Kathleen, because you are on Facebook, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I
so
am.
I'll put you in that group. I just don't know, you're not in it right now. So
Okay, thank you.
okay, so if anybody has any insights or anything like that come to them, like we were talking earlier in this about how dreams and insights are coming like crazy right now. I don't know about you guys, but I have felt more I don't know what the word is, closer to spirit than I've been in a really long time. And stuff is just coming through like crazy. So I encourage you that if you get any messages from what we did tonight for yourself or for somebody else, please share it. And if you don't want to share it publicly, that's more than fine. Just email me and I will make sure it gets to the right people. Okay. So do you guys want to, Stephanie and Della, you want to just do rock, paper, scissors to see who reads who, or we'll text each other and figure it out. So thank you guys. Thank you for signing up in advance. You don't have to do that, but it was really fun because it was on my watch. And so it would come up and say, Tracy just signed in. I said, what? Wait, Kathleen just signed in. So it was very fun. So
if we pay for it like a week in advance, then it'll tell you we're signed in.
I know, then I'll be like totally crazy. I even had somebody tonight book a tarot appointment with me, a full session, and paid for it online, complete stranger.
Wow.
You understand, in all these years with Mind Body, never, ever could somebody just book that didn't know us. So I'm like, yay. Oh, maybe this software will be good. But anyway, so really, truly, I do appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. I really appreciate Stephanie and Della. I think it's so much fun when we do it all together and see different sides of all of it. So we will see you next month. There is, those of you that have been asking for a sound bath, Barry and I are doing a sound bath on the beach in Edgewater. next month when we're there. So let me know, just email me if you're interested in that. I'll get you some details. So bye. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next month.